I'm Lillian Kleinberg, and I'd like to share my thoughts on the Save the World Challenge. First thing I did was do a lot of research on stuff like global warming, carbon dioxide, and the greenhouse effect. I learned a lot, and I'm going to share some of my important facts in my application. But the most interesting facts were learning about moss and the role it might be able to play in global warming. While a lot of people are more focused on trees for saving the world, I learned about something called a city tree, or a moss wall. Just one of these walls can absorb around 240 tons of carbon dioxide per year, which is just 1%, which is the equivalent to 275 trees in just 1% of the space. I thought that was pretty amazing. Now I want to share how I solved the two questions in the challenge. For the first one about being carbon neutral, the first one is how can we become carbon neutral by 2100? What I did was I found the amount of CO2 that humans create per year, which was 40 billion metric tons. I divided that by the amount of CO2 that's absorbed by the city tree or moss wall, which was 240 metric tons. What I got from that was around 170 million city trees. Well, million. So that's how many city trees I would need to become carbon neutral. The second question is how can we return the temperature to pre-industrial levels, which I found were about 300 parts per million. Now we're at around 400 parts per million. So we'd have to decrease that the levels by around 100 parts per million, or around 1.5 degrees Celsius. So I divided the 100 parts per million, which was around 100,000 metric tons, by the amount that a city tree can absorb in 1 year, which was 240 metric tons. From that, I got around 417 city trees, which would be how many city trees I would need to become carbon neutral to return the temperature to pre-industrial levels. Some predict that, even though these were interesting math problems, I researched a lot of things that showed the solution isn't so simple in reality. It'll take a lot of different efforts to lower the CO2 levels and the global temperature. Some scientists predict that if we keep polluting at the rate that we're going, the CO2 levels could be around 900 parts per million, which would be devastating by 2100. So we have to keep educating people to stop pollution. Some of the things I loved about this project were we're learning so many interesting facts, and a few of my favorites were that moss can be a real solution for global warming, and also another thing was how learning about the Earth's temperature is going up and down, and that all the air is over time. Thank you for listening to my perspective.